The Green City Startup is an initiative of the City of Joburg, which encourages green entrepreneurs to develop ideas in building, energy, water, transport, and waste. This is the Green City Startup Show. This week, we explore the vibrant Newtown precinct in CBD Joburg. Mentor Angela Ho has some expert advice for us. We meet up with last year's Green City Startup winner, and we chat with Abu Kasim, co-founder of the Venture Network, on the big interview. Dumelang, Avshen, hello, and welcome to the Green City Startup Show. My name is Puno Silesho, and for the next while, you and I will be exploring the city of Joburg and the green economy. Before we get going, find us on Facebook, the Green City Startup, and on Twitter @the GC Startup. We'd love to connect with you and hear your thoughts about the show. Students, creatives, tourists, and anyone looking for a great cultural experience will enjoy spending time in the Newtown precinct in the Johannesburg CBD. There's lots to do, like visit art galleries, indulge in good food, and much more. We had the opportunity to chat to Irene Mafuna to find out more.
Our region is quite diverse, from a socio-economic, point of view. We've got, affluent people who've just moved in, mainly coming in on a daily basis to do business in the baking sector. People are just coming in to run their own businesses. But we also have people who are living within the inner city, mainly migrant workers from various parts of the country, from South Africa and also from across the continent. Newtown has always been a cultural hub for the city, where you have, nightlife, music festivals, the theatre. Recently, now in the last 2 years or so, we've seen the development of the Newtown Junction Mall, which has just been completed now, and I think it's thriving. And we also have the Queen Elizabeth Park, which has also just been completed on Transnet land as part of the agreement between the City of Johannesburg, of course, City Parks, being the leading department. That park was developed in 2013-2014, and it was opened by the executive mayor. It's got lots of equipment, ablution blocks, a lot of interactive facilities. It's got a little amphitheater where you can have your own activities. You've got the Saibono, which is one of the most visited places, by the school kids. I mean, it's very interactive. Kids, are allowed to even have, parents are even encouraged to have a science, theme party, for their kids. It is a region that has got a lot of opportunities. All in all, I think for us who are here and us who have been given the responsibility of ensuring that, we transform, we drive the regeneration, we can see the light. On each and every day, we are able to see the effort which government has put in place. It's a continuous program, redevelopment programs, that ensures that, as the city, we continue to ensure that, we work towards achieving that vision of creating a world-class African city.
By supporting local artists and businesses in places like Newtown, you are contributing to the economy and making entrepreneurship an even more viable career option. If you'd like to see more of our feature stories and discover other great places to visit in Joburg, you can log on to our website, thegreensitystartup.co.za. On our website, you'll also find information to help you grow as an entrepreneur. Next, Brandon, our social media guru, has more helpful hints and tips.
If you've been in business for any amount of time, you've had clients questioning your pricing. At first, you may get offended, but before you do so, try to find out why they think you're pricey. Negotiation may not be so bad. So I found these tips by Jenna Hagen on how to respond when clients think you are too expensive. Firstly, find out what your price is being compared to. This is a good approach when you know the client has been price comparing with other service providers. Now, you can't control the prices of others, but you can explain why you don't charge their prices. And if the client still doesn't choose you, move on and find clients willing to invest in your value. Secondly, ignore it. If you feel that you don't need to justify your prices, then don't. I'd recommend this response only when you have enough work coming in and you don't want to waste your time explaining your fees. Next, ask them what their budget is. If you find out what your client's budget is, you're able to explain to them what can be accomplished with their budget. This way, expectations are set from the beginning, and clients that don't have a budget yet are usually not ready to spend. So this is a good way of deciding whether or not to pursue a client. Finally, ask if they need your services. Sometimes clients that say you're too expensive are just looking for an easy way out from the work that still needs to be done. This happens when they're unwilling to make a choice. So in this case, suggest staying in touch with them until they're ready to take on the project. So let's sum that up. Find out what your price is being compared to, ignore it, find out what their budget is, and finally ask if they really need your services. That's all for hints and tips. Remember, you can find more on our social media pages. On Facebook, it's the Green City Startup, and on Twitter, @the GC Startup. We're always looking forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions. Until next time, keep focused.
In our competition, our contestants have access to tutors to help them in their journey. These tutors also have a few entrepreneurial concepts to teach us. Next, Talking with Tutors.
Welcome to Talking with Tutors. In studio with me is Nozipho, who's going to talk to us about building your product as well as, the building blocks of a business. Nozipho, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Mkhaja.
For someone who's never started a business before, it can be a very confusing process. What are building blocks and how do they help in establishing your business?
Well, essentially, business building blocks are the fundamentals that you need to think of before starting a business. So that includes, what is your problem? What are your solution? How are you thinking about the customer? How are you thinking really around what you're trying to present to the market? And that's what makes up the business building blocks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, your focus area is product within the building blocks. Tell us about that.
The product is essentially your offering to the customer. And what I really focus on is, engaging the product and how we're going to bring the product to the customer. And I find the easiest way really to get to defining your product is to do our 5 questions that we must have learned in primary school. Your who, what, when, how, where, why, and your how. And so you're thinking, who is your product designed for? Where are you going to be able to service this product and offer this product? Why are you making this product? Why is it important? When will it come out to the market? How is it going to actually work? So if it's complicated, you want to be able to explain that to people. And so, those really are the lines that we're thinking along.
Now, you spoke about the 5 W's and the H. What kind of challenges do those help the entrepreneur overcome?
I think, when an entrepreneur is thinking about their product, it's really hard for them to be able to put it in a simple sentence or just make it as simplified as possible. So when you answer all those 5 questions, you begin to think of all aspects of your business, and answering those just helps you make it concise, it helps you make it very accurate, and you can shoot straight at exactly what you mean.
Well, thank you very much. That was very insightful. That was Nozipho talking to us about building blocks as well as coming up with a product and putting it in the market.
Still to come, we meet up with last year's Green City Startup winner, and we have a chat on our white couch with Abu Kasim from the Venture Network on the big interview. We still have tons in store for you right here on the Green City Startup, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Green City Startup Show. If you visit our social media pages, the Green City Startup on Facebook and @the GC Startup on Twitter, you'll find more entrepreneurial resources about matters in and around the city of Joburg. Here at the Green City Startup, we aim to cultivate a culture of learning. Part of that is getting training from business mentors. Next, a mentorship session with an expert, Angela Ho.
Hi, I'm Angela Ho, and it's my privilege to be your mentor. In this short tutorial, I'm going to discuss creativity. Being an entrepreneur can be a lonely journey, and at times you may need a creative boost when there's no one around. Today, we will look at 4 practical ways to find new ideas. This is also referred to as brainstorming, ideation, or idea generation. Before we begin, there are 5 simple rules to remember. Forget about you, your problems and self. Don't point fingers and don't judge ideas, including your own. Make a long list for the longest finger. Marry ideas and build on them. Even the smallest idea is important, so write everything down. Random pictures. Pictures are a wonderful way to tap into visual inspiration. One does not need anything fancy. Old magazines, calendars, postcards and cards all become inspiration or the spark you need to come up with novel ideas to solve your problem. Random words. All you need to do is pick up a dictionary and go look for a random word. Stop thinking about your problem and look at the meaning of the word, the definition and the attributes of the word. Then you can make a connection to your problem and come up with a novel or different idea to help you solve your problem. Someone else's shoes. Changing a perspective by pretending to be someone else can be eye-opening and fun as a role play, even in your head. Astronaut or rock stars tend to see, solve and go about dealing with problems differently from you and me. Abstract thinking. Abstract thinking such as pretending that a problem is a living creature can be the metaphor you need to find variety and different ideas to select from to work on a solution. In conclusion, sometimes we need to stop focusing on the problem and find inspiration away from the task to come up with creative solutions. Studies reveal that we are naturally creative, and as we grow up we learn to be uncreative, so stay naive. Thank you for watching.
Paseka Lusulang was our very first Green City Startup Competition winner. His product, the leakless valve, which stops toilets from wasting water, won him 1 million rand towards building his business. We met with him to find out how his product has progressed.
Well, we are here in Soshanguve, block PP2. We are assessing the candidates which we have trained to be basic plumbers in order to be ready for the installation of the WHC leakless valve. So we are assessing one at a time, and we are accompanied by the City of Tshwane mentors who are analyzing their performance to that extent. And we'll be moving from one house to another. We are running a 9-month project here. We will be installing 1,000 units in the community. The first phase of the project is to train the locals to be eligible to do the job. We have approximately 9 phases of this project, ranging from training of the candidates all the way to monitoring and reporting after installation. The application of skill is very evident, and they are showing great potential to expand this project moving forward.
I started training the students as of 9th of May up to now, and now they are doing their final assessment. When I started training them, they didn't know anything about plumbing. They are doing quite well. They are now able to install all the toilets and all the broken pipes. They are repairing them. They've helped the community, which is quite a good thing.
We're fixing household leaks, be it toilet or the taps. Those kind of leaks we were hired by Tshwane in combination with the WHC company. For example, the house we were in, it's a granny. She doesn't know how to fix things like this, and she doesn't have enough money to fix things like this. So we as Tshwane and WHC came through. We managed to help her.
So far so good. There's a lot of excitement regarding the WHC leakless valve. We have identified that there's over 70% leakages in toilets within this community alone, among other leaks that we have encountered. And the introduction of the leakless valve is a very aspirational feeling to most people. It's phenomenal to an extent that they didn't know such technology exists. So there's a lot of excitement and anticipation for the full rollout of the project.
I've noticed that there's shortage of ladies, and I think it's not based on males only. Even females can do it. I mean, it's not a difficult job. You just have to learn how to install and fix. So I think they can do it. If I can, they can do it too.
They are doing a marvelous job, these girls. They can fix the pipes, they can install toilets, they can rectify the leaks in the toilets. It's a good project, it must go a long way. They are doing quite well. They've helped the community and these youths get employment because there are a lot of wastage of waters in these houses. As they are going around fixing all the mistakes, we are seeing that the council is losing a lot of water, which is a lot of money.
This program, I'm finding it in a good way now. I'm simply going to take plumbing as a career. I think they have helped us a lot. They have created a lot of jobs, especially for the youth. So I think that's a good thing.
From my point of view, everyone can. If you are determined and willing to work, I think it's going to be much easier.
After these guys have gained some experience for some years, they must go for trade tests so that they get certificates as artisans in plumbing.
Words cannot express my gratitude for the Green City Startup and the City of Johannesburg's intervention in our endeavors. This mere project was motivated by the project we conducted for the City of Johannesburg. Our greatest desire is to create impact in the form of job creation, water saving, and obviously reduction of the non-revenue accounts of all the cities, especially our founding cities, City of Johannesburg and City of Tshwane. Thank you very much.
If you'd like to see more of our videos, you can find them on our website, thegreencitystartup.co.za. These will definitely help you become better as an entrepreneur. It's good for entrepreneurs to have a space where they can test their ideas and connect with other business owners. The Venture Network provides such a platform for established and aspiring entrepreneurs. We sat with Abu Kasim, the co-founder, to find out more about these networking sessions. In studio, I have an entrepreneur from the Venture Network. His name is Abu, and he'll be sharing all his knowledge with us that he has on entrepreneurship. Abu, now Venture Network, which brings different startups together and different businesses together, is based in Johannesburg, a commercial hub at the very Jozi hub. Can that business model work in a smaller community?
Absolutely. So what we've tried to do with Venture Network is showcase various resources available to startups across Johannesburg. So the next event is going to be hosted at Jozi Hub. We've hosted events at other resources as well. And within each hub, it's almost a community in itself. There are resources within that community that support entrepreneurs, help them grow and nurture them.
And with these different ones that come together, what can you suggest to be the perfect pitch? Because you're in a small community, not all of them have pitched before. So what ideas or what sort of tips would you give to a person pitching?
I would say be authentic, but at the same time be passionate, or display your passion on your company and on the topic that you're talking about. Entrepreneurs and investors in particular are looking for passionate people that will overcome the hurdles that are presented when they are presented, people that will pursue it with perseverance.
And I'm going to ask you to pick a favorite here and say what has been your best idea that you've heard from these various pitches that you encounter.
So we've heard a number of ideas, and of all of them, I think that there's a company called FitKey that has presented a fitness solution. They were based in Cape Town, have since moved up to Joburg to expand their product offering here. And effectively what they do is they allow entrepreneurs, the community to experience different fitness routines. So if, for example, today you want to do CrossFit and tomorrow you want to do wall climbing and then the following day you want to do Pilates, FitKey will allow you to do that based on one subscription model. I think it appeals to me because I've also got a passion for fitness and enjoy that the lifestyle.
Sure. And do you find that important, putting what you're passionate about into creating a startup or creating an idea?
Yes, absolutely. There needs to be the most important question in doing whatever you are doing as an entrepreneur is the why. Why are you doing this? And if you don't have the passion for it, you often find when times are tough that the driver is missing and that you don't overcome those hurdles that you're faced with. So having passion is very important in what you do.
Abu, with the Venture Network, what has been your biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome?
With Venture Network, being a non-profit, I think funding is always hard to come by. We started this as a two-man team, myself and Wayne Berger. We've since grown to 7 people in total, but it's always been a struggle in terms of funding. We've often had to put our own personal funds into Venture Network to get through certain times. And what we are looking for at this point in time is some sponsorship. Yeah, I think with any startup, funding is often a problem. The other big problem that startups face is clients. And those are the 2 biggest obstacles for any startup.
So now, if I'm a person, let's say I'm a person who's come from a 9-to-5 job, there's security, there's a salary every month, and now I want to go into entrepreneurship, but like you say, funding is a problem. What can you tell me that would inspire me to go for it, regardless of the risk involved?
Well, I made that very same transition a few years back. I was in a corporate job, looking then to start my own business. At the time, I wasn't quite sure of what business it would be, and I pursued various different ideas. I think the easiest way to actually see if something will work is to do it and to pursue it. Test it, even if it's on a part-time basis, up until you build it to a certain level where you can then make a decision on whether this is something you should pursue on a full-time basis or not.
That's very good advice. I'll take that on as well. Thank you. And to just end it all up, sum up in 3 words what you think the ideal South African entrepreneur is.
Well, someone that is determined, so that's the first word. Someone that is passionate. And I guess the third word would be some sort of emotional intelligence. So you need to have a feel for the market that you're targeting, and you need to be determined to get through that and show your passion in doing that.
That was Abu from the Venture Network speaking to us about entrepreneurial tips and tricks here on The Big Interview. Next week, you don't want to miss out on our show as our contestants continue their competition journey. We learn about entrepreneurship from our tutors and we chat to an expert on The Big Interview. Before I go, don't forget to connect with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, The Green City Startup, and on Twitter at The GC Startup. That's all from the GCS team and me, Puna Silisho. See you next week. Cheerio.